MaoistRebel was not talking about how cell phones improve the country's standard of living. He was merely making an example that, you're always bashing North Korea as this terrible place under brutal dictatorship. And he's just proving to you that they're normal people, they're just like everybody else, and it is your standard, it is your Western imperialist standard that compares them, that they have to have cell phones and nice clothes and all this other bullshit. What do North Koreans need cell phones for? It's not like here where, if you don't live in a metropolitan area and you work freaking 2 jobs all day long, and you have to work an office job or some shit. They don't need cell phones in North Korea. They have everything they need, and it's perfectly contained. So, it's not like they need to amuse themselves and distract themselves with fucking Skyrim, as you said you were playing. See, in North Korea, they actually have real jobs. They actually have real purpose. They get out there and they do engineering and manual labor and things that are actually productive. Whereas in capitalism, you just have to make a profit to survive. It doesn't matter whether or not it's useful. It's kind of ironic because a lot of times capitalists use the mud pie argument to discredit communists, but in fact, it is capitalists that create the mud pie argument themselves. They live it because they create useless things on purpose just to make revenue. What do cell phones accomplish? Yes, it's good for communication. Yes, it has practical uses. But 99% of why people use cell phones is for bull crap. It is to play stupid games online. It's for stupid apps. It's, to distract themselves when they should either be working or thinking, and they're not doing either of those things. So, what is your argument here? That North Koreans are not as, simple as we are? That they aren't as ingrained in all these childish beeps and lights and sounds and toys? So, I don't get how this is somehow proving MaoistRebel wrong. I don't get how this is somehow degrading North Korea. What does that say about Americans, that if someone has less than them, they must be inferior, they must be more savage, they must live under brutal conditions, unless they have all the crap that we have, and they have all the materialistic things. I'm sure North Korea has problems, everywhere has problems, but in comparison, when you look at it in hindsight, and you actually think about it, North Korea is not nearly as bad as you give it credit for being. In fact, North Korea spins circles around the West. And, if you were to ask any North Korean, even if you were to take them aside and ask them one-on-one, they'd probably tell you that North Korea isn't such a bad place to live. The more I think about it, the more I realize that we invade and kill people in countries that are more well-off than we are, so we don't know how bad things are. That's why they kill people in fucking Libya. That's why they cut off trade from Cuba for the longest time. That's why, now they're gonna attack Iran. Because these countries aren't half as bad off as they have us believe. But they're gonna make sure that they are bad off by going in there, brutalizing their leaders, creating chaos and, just death everywhere, and then they can say, well, look, we told you so. Well, yeah, when you have a biased media that doesn't tell us what's actually going on, and, you have the internet that is so freaking censored, and it has nothing to do with the state doing it, it's just these private entrepreneurs get to censor us and dictate what we can and can't say, and of course they have Western bias, because most of them are white, so that's what creates that institution, and there's no escaping from that. But, of course, you're gonna live in your own little world of pretentious capitalism snobbery, and, MaoistRebel doesn't need me to defend him, but obviously you just have this snide attitude about you, and I wanted to point that out. And, you say how you make unpopular channels famous. MaoistRebel doesn't need you to be famous. MaoistRebel's pretty famous as it is. He's very much revered all over left-wing pages. And, he wouldn't get trolled so much by all these crap sites like RevLeft if he wasn't the most, influential internet left-wing character of our time. I don't even know how to describe it. I want to compare him to Keith Olbermann or something, because, this is the real media. This is real people with real thoughts, and, you know, we get our information, we accumulate all that news, and then we bring it to you. We tell it to you, we link you to descriptions, things like that. The media out there, CNN, MSNBC News, they're not telling you this shit. And I could see you working at fucking Fox News. So, that's all I gotta say. It's probably been nearing 10 minutes.